days, they will tell us to go and source for properties. We go and source for those properties, and we'll bring them to the company, we get the brief, we rent it out. I was part of the process. I saw the property. I was part of the process of getting clients into the property. I was part of the process of handing over the clients, the keys to the clients. And eventually, I met the owner. He used to own the microfinance bank. Yeah. And this particular client, I didn't know who he was. I was just listening, and I found out about this property. So what did I do? Eventually, I met with him. I was not according to the tenancy agreement to his office. The day he met, he was like, oh, this is the time I didn't know you are not this small girl. Because then I was an IT student. Do you know that over the years, I kept my relationship with this man that I was always in touch. So when I started my own firm, I called him, good day, sir. Oh, Taiwo, how are you? And his number is very unique. There are numbers I go for. Even if I lose my phone today, I put the number all fast. So the day I called him and I told him, sir, I've started my own. He said, fantastic. Come and check out one of my properties I always said in Abacha Estate. Abacha Estate is in the come and check it out. And give me the brief back then most years. Till date, if I still call that man, he will pick up. He's in his 80s now. He's in his 80s, probably retired. So when you are speaking to, when you have the opportunity to meet HNIs, high net worth individuals, people like someday I'm going to be amputated. I'm looking forward to meeting them. But the moment you have an opportunity to meet people like that, the conversation changes. There's a way you talk to them because you are not selling to them. I don't want to sell to you. Do you understand? The first thing, if I meet a millionaire today, the first thing that I want to do is not to sell to you. I'm not going to sell to you. I'm not going to hear from you. I want to learn. I want to gain from your experience. You understand? So don't be too salesy. Sometimes if you don't have to buy the property from you, but you will refer you to a number of people in this. They like to keep their samples small.
So I think this is very much Taiwo Anjorin. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time as well. And thank you for helping us in answering those questions. So before we move to the next section, we are going to have Mr. Debo going to be presenting to us as well. So it's good that we just remind ourselves why Mr. Anjorin was discussing with us. She discussed about 7 past 3 roles, and I'd like to hear from all of us. For every role, we want us to do what at least one role. I'm going to start from number 1 to 7. So I'll start from my left. The first one she mentioned was what? You can say it louder. Alright, so for the second role, please let's be alive. Let's stay alive. What was the second one? Alright, so to the last one. Okay, so let's start from there again for the fourth one. Okay, to middle road. Then the fourth road. So let's get all the ourselves together. Both sales and the buyers. Let's put that together for ourselves. Alright, thank you so much. So as we proceed to make Mr. Debo's profile to us, I'd like to also announce that after Dr. Debo's section, we are going to be having certificate issues to every of our sales associate and student graduates in the form of sales ladies. So everyone that is so quickly, we have one of our guests around who's going to share the beautiful insight with us. The slide has been shared to our platform. You can please open it. It's not like a one-room, so please let's open it so we can go along with it. So Dr. Debo Adejana is the GM CEO of Realty Limited, and I will read his profile as such. He is an astute real estate entrepreneur who heads one of the Nigerian leading mass housing development company, Realty Limited, since 2005 after a rigorous award-winning session in commercial banking. The company, the owners of the popular trademark, sacked the landlord, is primarily involved in the supply side of the industry with a strong presence in real estate development, investment, training and consultancy, and marketing syndications. He also served as the Director of Studies at the renowned School of Estate and Business, which has been ranked as global #1 real estate school for the past 5 years. Under his leadership, the institution has successfully trained and empowered over 1,000 tribal real estate entrepreneurs. One of the less than 10 standing conference of mediation advocates, UK trained mediation advocate. Debo is an alumni of Lagos Business School, having attended the Owner Managers Program. He is currently the president of Prime Asset Housing Cooperative Multiple Society Limited, and a celebrated author, blogger, and speaker. He is on the board of other profit and non-for-profit organizations with a budding interest in social housing solutions. Mr. Adejana is happily married and blessed with 3 children. Let's put hands together for Mr. Adejana
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here today and to facilitate this session. So, if you don't mind, we'll go through it very briefly. But let's celebrate Dr. Anjorin, please. That was such a great presentation, and I wonder why I'm here again, because she has covered all the grounds in like 1 hour plus that she spent with us. But I will just zero in on something that I want you to have as a take home today. And I will encourage that you pay rapt attention. Now let me say this. In Nigeria, we don't have quality sales culture. In Nigeria, we don't have quality sales culture. What happens a lot of the time is that you get recruited into most organizations, and the very next day after your resumption, you are asked, where is the check? How much have you sold? What have you brought in today? Where are you going? Sometimes without as much as any training, and you are entry-level employee, right? And it makes sales very difficult for us. But I always say, sales is not difficult. Hello? Sales is not what? Sales is discipline. It is discipline that is difficult. The reason why we are not selling as we should, if we trace it very well, it happens largely on our lack of discipline. And you see, one major thing that affects our lack of discipline is that we lack ownership. Hello? We lack ownership. Sales job is regarded mostly as a stopgap job. Somebody picks up a sales job, and what they tell themselves, before I find the job that I'm looking for, let me start doing this. I mean, because if you check vacancies, every organization can tell you they are looking for sales people every day. Whereas they are not looking for accountant every day. They are not looking for lawyer every day. They are not looking for engineer every day. They are not looking for that sales people. Sales person, they are looking for a permanent vacancy slot in any organization. So they are always recruiting. So when you are out there looking for a job, you don't easily get other jobs, so you go into sales. That's why a lot of insurance people, in our old days, when you first come out, it was the day of guiding. I don't know if you used to know the newspaper called guiding. Yeah? listening online person, so you should have heard of them. On Tuesdays is when they publish their vacancy. Tuesdays. So there is a permanent page Ayo Insurance has. Do you know Ayo Insurance? Ayo Insurance will not advertise more than one small business card size space in their area on Tuesday. It's almost on page 3 or so. Vacancy. It's always there. Recruiting sales people for insurance. So most people who came to Lagos after they graduated for the very first time to come and profit out to Lagos and said, the very first type of job they get is insurance sales job. Because I'm looking for job for a while, I'm finding because insurance is always advertised. That's why let me share go. By the time they are shipped, starts to tell them about the meanings of Lagos in 2-3 months. I will employ about 300 people. Check them out in 2 months' time. You will hardly find them yet. When they see the challenge of sales. So sales is not difficult. Sales is discipline. It is discipline that is difficult. And the major reason why discipline is difficult is that we lack ownership. I tell you, half of the things Taiwo Anjorin shared here today, half of the things, if you can just do half of those things 50%, as in 50% of what she shared, do 50% of the way, not fully, you'll be a superstar. You won't be a billionaire, you will be a trillionaire realtor. But guess what? The discipline to even do more is a challenge for a lot of us. So we attend trainings upon trainings upon trainings. Some of these things we had and we are going to hear. This is not the first time. But you will not be able to make yourself do it. Reason, ownership is life. So I like to tell this that look, it's your job. It's your life. There is no job that gives you as much room as living your life as a sales job. It's your job. When you get employed as a sales person, it's about the best employment you can get if you know how to apply it. It is salespeople that I know that an organization will be willing to pay them every time, even more than they pay them. Because a good sales payment structure largely is skewed towards commission. I mean, what that then means is that you are not going to earn except you sell. So if I sell $1 billion property for you, and you have to pay me, say, 5%, how much will that be? 50 million, I mean, except you won't have a problem paying 50 million. The MD will get a total package of 38 million in a year. That's his problem. But he will be glad to pay you. Because the reason why you get that 38 million is if I'm bringing you the family. In fact, he will call me one day and say, you can't let other member of the family that if we can just have all of them and let them bring in. Because I think he has so many types of things. You will go to the board and ask for a raise and say it's doing well. I mean, his time is dependent on me. But a lot of the time, we are using sales as a stopgap. Before I find out, let me start doing this. And so you can see the record that has jump that she has gotten. I mean, she has gotten the client, and you can see what she's doing. So that realtor did realtorship so that I can raise money to Java. Java is the goal. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you need to really clear your head when you want to do sales for how long. That is why a problem is using sales as a stopgap. But while at it, I encourage you to apply yourself. The reason is that if you're successful as a sales person, you will almost be able to be successful at anything. So you give yourself a great favor to apply yourself whilst you are selling. If you don't apply yourself, you do yourself a great service. So I encourage you today, okay, to ensure that you be the best salesperson that you can be. And that's why in School of Excellence, we have a proprietary way of selling that we developed. We called it SLAM, Sell Like a Machine. Now, I'm just going to explain briefly to you and then zeroing on one particular part that will amplify one point that she raised, and now you can drill down on that part. Okay? And how did we come about SLAM? We realized that the sales culture is very weak when it comes to property sector in Nigeria. FMCG, fast-moving consumer goods, they have relatively a good sales culture. Johnson, when you are employing the likes of Cadbury, Nestle, all of those places, as a salesperson, they bring you in, they train you, they have a system by which you sell. Do you understand? You are not a Coca-Cola salesperson and you are just loafing around. You can't loaf around. Every day, there is what you are doing. It's very, very systematized, right? So FMCG has a very good structure, followed by insurance, and a very good structure. After that, there is hardly any other industry that has a very good structure. The only other industry that I know that has very good sales structure is not a profit-making organization. And I'm not saying this to embarrass anybody or to talk about any sector of group. I'm saying this because that is what it is, and I'm actually appreciating them. One major sales organization or one major organization that runs a very good sales force in this country is Jehovah's Witness. You can laugh, but if you check most performing sales across sectors in this country, I tell you, check them very well. A number of them are Jehovah's Witnesses. You know why? I said sales is not difficult. I mean, sales is discipline. It is discipline that is difficult. From 6 years old or so, the guy has been trained. So every Sunday, carry a bag and an umbrella when it's raining, and knock on as many doors, get as many notes and not it, and it will come back next month. It's not going to be very for you. He has developed that discipline, such that when he now matures and he gets an opportunity to do almost about the same thing, where he will pay, he goes on that way. He doesn't get confident because he has now built it. He's now, he has become follow from almost. Do you understand? That's just to tell you. So, we identified that there are about 4 types of salespeople. 4 types of salespeople. Have we copied our account and have we transferred? So that I can move. Great. I think if you get it, you need to invest in yourself. So, there are 4 types of salespeople. Majorly. I don't like to talk about the first type. They are the never-do-wells. They are the ones who do sales as a stopgap and they don't have anything by using it. They are just hibernating till they find something to do. So they see a sales job, especially the sales job promises a salary, a fixed salary, whether with commission or without commission. That's the one you find them mostly. Once salary can cater to their transportation and food, they will never perform. What they are doing is actually making to show up so that they don't know they can say, pay us. I didn't say, but pay my salary because it's salary for them. They are never doers. I don't like to even give them any other importance as I'm discussing them. So for me, they don't exist even though they are the majority. Take any sales force. The people that are just hibernating and majority. It's also the reason why in this sales force you have high turnover. There are people that don't want to use. we should not be talking about it. Even though in the majority, I can't help myself. If you are a good sales or HR person or a sales force manager, you must know how to eliminate them so that you don't even bring them into your sales system. And one of the easiest way to is when you are interviewing a potential sales hire and is more concerned or she's more concerned about the salary than the commission. Is an indication. There is an abiding. There is no point to do such a person. He will never do anything. He just has to collect the salary. Okay? So that said, let's look at the other thing. I have brought a graph to just describe it. So I got under 3 grade C, grade B, grade A salesmen. Volume versus time. If we measure how they deliver and perform, volume of sales versus time. January, February, March, April, right? The grade C sales guys, once they are recruited into a system, they are trained about the product and they start selling. This is how their brand looks like. He said today, he said tomorrow, he said today, he said. Amazon. He said today, he knows that for another 2 weeks, he said for another 3 days, he knows that for another 3 months, he said for another 4 months, he knows that for another 1 month. They said 1 million today, 500 tomorrow. He said for 2 days, 10 million the next month, another 2 million again, 0 for another 6 months. Do you understand? And guess what, guys? They constitute the majority. They are like 98 points, about 98% of the sales force are in this category. So that's where the guys say something like, when you are asking them, well, do you do budgeting? Will you participate in that? Will you buy that stuff? The guy will say, I really don't know. You know that I'm in 2 sales. What he's saying is that you know that my income is irregular. I don't know whether I will make money tomorrow and how much I will make. I mean, we've got to accept that this is the regular life of a salesperson. It's a big lie. It's looking like it's the truth because 98% of us, this is what we are doing. But that's not it. A salesperson can go over himself. Ask Taiwo. Does she know whether she will sell this month? From what she has taught you and the examples of how she sells and she has coached you, does she know whether she will sell this month or not? Yeah. She started, she will sell every month of the year. She's not in this category anymore. She's not Amazon. No. She sells consistently at least. But you know what I'm still here? Sell today, no sell tomorrow, sell today, sell this one, no sell. Then, grade C. Grade B, if you plot volume versus time again, what happens is that once you start selling as a grade B salesperson, once you start selling, you continue to sell, then it gets to a point as if you reach a plateau. Reach your limits. As if there is a limit you can't exceed. If your limit is 10 million volume of sales, once you reach that from 0, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, you will perform. By the time you reach 10 million, if you check it the next month, you will sell. When you sell 9.5, you check another one, you will sell. When you sell 10.5, you check another one, you will sell. When you sell 9.8, you check another, you will sell. When you sell 10 million, so you can just around that, and you consider yourself when you reach a. Now, if you are in an organization where they are superstar and their limit is 8 million, guess what? You will always be celebrated. Do you even know that you have a car? Because you will tell you 10 million and you be a superstar. Every award you will be winning. Do you get? You are shielding with 2. Do you understand that image? You are shielding with 2. The day they hop, their superstar performance to like 15 million. You will be gasping for help. Because you will try to reach to 10.9. You will try the next one, you will go to 9.9. You will try it. You will not just because you have a car. You are good though, because what you sell consistently, right? You are consistent. A lot of salespeople are here. When I say a lot, I mean very few compared to people here. It's about 1.9%. Some of you know those, they always sell, no matter what you like. Say it's cheap, they will sell, but then it's cheap level. Just, if you like, tell them that there is no fuel, there is this. When a lot of salespeople are gathered together, when sales manager says, we are going to do market review today, what's happening? We are going to have a meeting on Monday to review what's happening and how we can do better. I realize that our sales have been going, now we need to see what we can do. That's a lot of that gathering up to see the excuses we mash up at the meeting. As the reason why we are not saying as much. Meeting is for 12 o'clock. The guy is just working by 11:45. He has another check in his hands. All of you will feel like you have nothing there. Because it's just going to excuse. Because what would you say exactly? Why would you say you are not selling when somebody has a check? It's as if he gets from people somewhere where he's collecting check from. Or maybe he has someone, whatever, he knows somebody in the wardrobe that is committing money. Because you don't know where this sense is coming from. Everywhere seems tight. The project is not selling. This guy is selling. Sells consistently. You know those people are, you know some people like that in your team. Right now, if you are not sure, you know some people, you know that guy, so that's the guy you know. No one, don't. I would help you get close to them or get past them to them. Like I said, amen. It's not a trust service. Okay, so what is that? Very few. Then these other guys, grade A. When these guys start selling time, again, they just continue to sell. Very few guys, very few, 0.1%. They are the superstars. They don't have anything. They sell not just consistently, but increasingly. Set target to 10 people, you will sell. Move it up to 20, you will sell. Move them from selling land, move them to selling banana land. Any land, whether it's any land, island, mainland, they will sell. They go Atlantic, they will sell. They start selling away at 500,000. They are now selling banana island at some billions. They will sell. They will just, once they study the products, they understand it, they will keep selling. You see the difference, guys? These guys, right? One of the major problems these guys have is that they lack two things space for sales. The making of sales champions, right? You have the workbook, so you can write it there. That's why there are spaces in those workbooks, so it's right. The making of sales champions, there are two major things that make for sales champions. For you to sell, you need two major things. One, discipline, right? And then two is system. So SLAM, for example, is a system. Those 7 points that Dr. Anjorin shared with you is a system. Do you understand? Those are the two things that exist to serve. Discipline and what? System. This system can be taught. Anjorin also talked to you about selling, right? We say we develop something we call SLAM. It's a system as well. Sell like energy. But discipline cannot be taught. It can only be taught. You don't teach discipline. You do discipline. When somebody is recruited into the army, they are disciplined. Not that they are taught to be disciplined. You understand? By the time you are to wake up by 5 and you are not working, what will happen to you? Because it is not wake up. Will make you the next day to wake up. You understand? When they say you need to collect a pass before you go out and you sleep out and they catch you, what will happen to you? Will make you to collect So, I can't help you so much about discipline than some of these I've told you about. To sell real estate, guys, you need to be disciplined about selling. One of the things that will help you with discipline is finding ownership skills. How do you know whether you have sufficient ownership skills? How do you gauge your discipline to return? Is the level of interest you have in real estate. Interest is an indication of discipline. It helps you to be able to get discipline. Interest. How do I know whether you are interested in real estate? Not of you are in real estate. Not that you are really interested in real estate. And yes, I know you are interested in the money of real estate. Because the last time you spoke to your friend, when she sold, and she told you how much she collected after selling that 10 million naira, and they gave her 10% commission, and that's 1 million. You wonder why you be finding all your people. Do you understand? And where that one will take you to. So he said, if it is real estate, why not? You can sell it. You became a realtor, interested in the commission, not in the business. How do I know? Look, I will gauge your level of interest to see if you really real estate for some time. She mentioned something. She asked how many of us have been to Atlantic. I mean, that's Lagos Alabama, Coastal Road or something. How many of you have been to that side? How many of you have seen it? Or done videos about it? Very few of us. It's an indication of interest. It shows how much interested you are in this thing. The way you go after money, we are still very good. Is this free? This is free, right? I'm sure thousands of already heard about this, right? So we are still good. We are like how many here are maybe, I don't know, not up to 200 at least, right? And thousands literally hard. And it's free. And a number of them, who was it, are sleeping right now on their bed. They are realtors. If you ask them. It's free. But the reason why some who told themselves yesterday that they will be here today, the reason why they are not here right now is that when they woke up this morning, they felt a slight headache. I mean, or they stood at the bus stop and the vehicle did not come in time. So they just said, let me know. It's an indication of interest. Some got here late. Some of you, when you want to open the door to this place, it's an indication of interest. It's a different level of interest. I mean, it's free. You saw these figures. Nothing will stop you today. So, as you are here now, my brain is sharing half of your head. But you say, Allah, I will be here. It's a level of interest. That's what makes you success, guys. Because if you know how to sell, but you lack the discipline to make yourself do it, will you sell? So you will be havers that the day you feel like since you are responding to feelings, you will do it so you will sell. The day you don't feel like even though you know what to do, since you won't do it, you won't what? That's what you tell others that even though you know what to do, but you lack this. That is great cigar. A lot of the great cigars you know what to do. All of these things I will share, all of these things I'm going to share, they are not strange. They are even teachings. And what the challenge is that they lack the discipline to make it happen. So I tell you, please get interested in the field. Get interested in the industry. How do you measure that? Your knowledge. How much do you know? How much do you crave to know? How willing are you to go to spend your time and money in gathering knowledge? You are a realtor, you've been a realtor for 3 years.